You know, this whole idea of loving, that word is used so many places. And yeah, we as a dad, for instance, I love my daughter, but
They have always been like this.
yeah, and I love her. But there came a point about 6 weeks after we found out about Lindsay that I had this emptiness, and it was bizarre. It was like I didn't love her anymore. It was a loss of tenderness and sweetness, and something was wrong. And I was so upset by it because I was like, what kind of dad am I that right when she needs me, I'm having these feelings? And so I was office down by the University of Texas, and I was running an errand, and I was on a major freeway here in Austin, and all of a sudden I hear, not an audible voice, but I hear these words in my spirit. And it was this. It was, Mark, can you imagine what it would be like to be in Lindsay's shoes? And I was so stunned by those words because I knew they did not come from me. I knew they came from God. And I was so overwhelmed by it that I had to pull off to the side of the road because I was starting to sob. And my first thought was really interesting. My first thought was, God, are you really like that? You mean you care about my daughter who's living this way? And at that point I realized I really didn't know who God was. I had this caricature of who he was, but I didn't really understand who he was. And here he was reminding me that I care about your daughter. Can you imagine what she's going through? You think it's hard for you. And then at that moment, I know I sound like a raving idiot, but at that moment, I received this download of love. That's all the only way I can express it. It just came, right into me, and I could feel it. And I was so taken aback by it because that's not the way I've been a Christian. I'm pretty much a, Bible-believing Christian, and, I don't do anything crazy. And here I am hearing God speaking to me, and then I feel this download of love. And I finally got myself gathered, went back to the office, and we live on our office is on a main area where the kids from UT, University of Texas, walk up and down the street. So you see all day long kids. And so I park my car and I get out, and the first couple that I saw coming down the road were two young girls, college girls, holding hands and nuzzling each other. And before that, when I saw that, I would have been disgusted. And my heart would have been condemning. And the amazing thing is, when I saw them, what I wanted to do was go over to them and hug both of them and tell them how much I love them. Now, where did that come from? So it didn't because I all of a sudden became this wonderful guy. Is God knew what I was lacking, and he, by his grace, he poured this love out into my heart. Now, this is just the way he had to deal with me. This is not, okay, if you don't have this happen to you, you're not a good parent. I didn't do anything. This was given to me, and it enabled me to love my daughter, not out of my human love. Because all of us have about 100 gallons of human love for our child. But there are situations where, guess what? All that fuel is gone. What do you have left? And I didn't have anything left, but God knew what was coming, and he granted me this incredible supernatural love, not just for my daughter, but for all gay people.